Right, good morning everyone. All one of you, the viewers. So this is my first YouTube account, or my first video, my first real video that I'm properly trying to do. And I just thought I'd give a little bit of a overview of what I'm wanting this to be, what I'm hoping for it to be, what I'm wanting it to develop into over the course of 18 months to however long I decide to do this, probably more consistent than not. And what I want it to be and what my vision is and things like that, because obviously I've been talking about it for a while, but now I'm taking the big step because you got to take it. So what do I want it to be? My real thing is that I'm wanting to create kind of a community, or to address social media, address the power that it is. So I am deeply passionate about the internet and how it will affect us moving forward, the ability to communicate with vast amounts of people in a very short amount of time, the ability to express very easily our thoughts and opinions. Definitely very into writing, which probably got me to this point. But I've been chatting to a bunch of people and just touching on how, like, passion and saying, like, what's your drive and things like that. And I think a lot of young guys, and I'm paraphrasing, but a lot of what I see every day is people are just looking for something more, and and it comes in very different ways. I guess your more can be anything, but my more, or my step above, or why I get excited about things, and I'm not just freaking lazing around all day or things like that, is that I love action. I love making things happen, and that's my passion, and I really just love it. So what I'm trying to do is, I guess I'm trying to express that. I mean, I still don't know a lot of the time how I really feel about things, which is why I'm doing this, because it's putting me in a position where I can then express it, look back at it over time, and adjust it and see where it's. Because what I'm more excited more than anything is, like, sure, maybe let's get 2 views, stoked, but what it's actually about is that in 5 years from now, I will have had this and been like, able to look back and been like, hey, that's what I thought back then. How interesting is that? Or on the reverse, it keeps me very honest, where I share my rawest emotion of what I really want to happen. And I can track myself and keep myself honest to that. So I think it's a big step in why we in general fear posting on social media, or a lot of us do. Not the popular people because they're pretty, but a lot of us fear posting on Instagram. Well, maybe I'm just paraphrasing, but it's also like, once you take that step of putting things out there, the ridicule and stuff like that, what are you going to get back, And I think the reason why I'm doing this now is that it's my truth. This is honestly how I feel right now, and 100% I'm open to be wrong. I'm 100% open to someone saying, how dare you share your opinions? Who are you to think that you can even think that you can share? And that's not what it's about. It's actually about the fact that it's for me to just say, and I mean, the maths of it is like, even if 1 in 1,000 people like it and there's 6 million people, that hear it, then scales down to people, me having like an actual following. But it's not really about that. It's actually about staking, boom, this is a stick in the ground, this is where I feel I am. And John, I'm very passionate about people doing that, about people like expressing themselves. And so, running back to where I want this to go, in general, I'd love it to be a conversation where I can share things that happen about me. I mean, I'm in real estate at the moment. I got it straight out of high school. I literally finished my last Cambridge exam and was like, cool, what I'm gonna do. Called a bunch of real estate companies, got a job, and I managed to sell a few properties on my 3rd month there, and I've been selling since then, and it's been absolutely amazing, and I love it. And it's shown me a much bigger world that I wouldn't have known existed if I hadn't had taken that big step of, like, discomfort of being, listen, I'm an 18-year-old in real estate and I'm doing it, and to kind of do that, it's a big step in discomfort, which is probably why, thinking about it now, I'm doing this now, because I feel like I'm probably comfortable where I am, and I'm looking for my next discomfort, because I prefer being uncomfortable. So this is me taking a big step in the way of discomfort, and but it's also something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and I figure if I don't do it, then why not? But also, coming back to you, the viewer, or anyone in general. I think a lot of us have these deep kind of things down where we kind of like, oh, it would be really cool if I did that, but we never do it. And I guess people call it goal setting, people call it, having a dream and things like that. But at the end of the day, huge tasks, or even little tasks, come down to even smaller steps that you just need to do every now and then. For instance, if you, like when I used to compete and race, I used to think, if I can just do this slightly better than someone else, and every single time that problem comes up, I do it slightly better. So for instance, if I go through a wave, if I can just do it at 2% better, or if the goal is only 2% better and there's 6 waves, then I'm going through 12% better than anyone else, that kind of thing. Or in the reverse of, if I'm with work, for instance, and I'm doing evaluation, if I can just make my evaluation 5% better, and I do like 15 evaluations, and I speak to a client 2 or 3 times, or like things like that, where it's the marginal increases of ability that create exponential changes over time. And it's something I think we don't think about. It's something that I think about a lot. I have way too many notebooks, I have way too many files on my computer about dreams and thinking and talking, and it's time I start expressing them. It's time I start telling other people about it, because at the end of the day, sorry, I'm in a car park, so there's a whole bunch of people around me, which is, I hope they're okay with being on video, but I think about it a lot, and I think it's something that in general, over time, so I see the internet over time, over the next 5 years, people are going to be more and more aware of their ability to create content. And so while back like 3 years ago, when I was like 16, there were only so many YouTubers, there were only so many people creating content, and now it's the walls of this, the globalization and diversification and the lack of barrier of entry to create content is just phenomenal, and people are becoming more and more aware of it. So we're 100% going to see a small community of people that are only 2,000, 3,000 people big, but they're going to be deeply passionate about this certain aspect of comic books. Easy example. Or like, for instance, the people who only like left-footed cricket players who drink orange juice, where it's going to become so niche that we're all going to have a chance to be able to express our opinions and thoughts and feelings and whatnot. But that's how it's going to scale down, and it's probably not in 5 years, probably going to be much longer, like 15 years. But this internet thing changed everything, and definitely businesses don't really understand it, and we're only starting to get glimpses of our power as the individual and consumer as well as user to use it. And I think we should all use it a little bit better. We should use it more consciously, but that's what I'm trying to do, and it's something I'd like to share my thoughts and views and journey about things that, for instance, I've been recording videos since the beginning of the year. I've just never posted them because they were always just for me, and I don't know if I ever will, but maybe I will, who knows. But these videos I'm recording now are to be shared because I think it's important to get a conversation going. I don't want it to be longer than 10 minutes because no one's got time for 10-minute videos. But I also want it to be long enough to have a conversation. I don't want this to be a 2-second, 3-second thing that you think about for half a minute. I want this to be something that people internalize. And I realize that over time, the way I have to say it is going to change because people are going to hear it differently, and it's like something I'm excited to explore. But yeah, it's just this is just me starting. Cool. That's it. There's nothing more fancy than that. Have an excellent day, and like and subscribe. And if you ever want to, let me know what you think. Seriously, I would like to know. Cool. Have a fantastic day.